What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of the Deconstruct podcast. Woo! It's gonna be a little bit unorthodox, if you will, if that's what some say, something different, because I'm actually doing the recording outside. Figure I stroll around the park around my way. Beautiful day today. And I'm like next to a little mini soccer field and a track field, so I see there's a lot of people. Kids are playing, family environment. The sun is out, and perfect day to make a little recording off the, you can say it off the cuff, as I would say. I was thinking about doing this episode on the confines of my home, but they're doing a little bit of construction there in my apartment, so I figured, you know what, let me just go outside and do a little podcast show. Today's gonna be cool. It's gonna be about motivation and inspiration, and definitely it's gonna get a little bit personal, that's for sure. As you already know, welcome to Deconstruct Podcast, where we deconstruct topics. And hey, listen, you're always gonna get, once in a while, you're gonna get these little episodes. Spontaneous out of nowhere. Good thing I got this app called Podbean, where I use it's basically where my platform is at in terms of my podcast. So let's get on with the show. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you, the listeners, and everybody, friends, family, and all in that in between that has been supporting me, dropping me with some ideas. There's so much stuff to talk about. It is beautiful world, this beautiful country, this beautiful planet, beautiful universe. Shit. Get me to another universe somewhere so I could talk about the same thing too in that universe. Galaxy, whatever you want to call it. For those sci-fi geeks out there, I know who you are. Oh, but I'm doing this. I get somebody score. Nice. Let's go, team. Let's go, pink team, I believe. Pink and blue. That's the two teams that are playing right now. So that's what's going on. And yes, and like I said, the good thing I'm using Podbean is the platform that I use to make this recording on the go. Podbean. Give me a shout out. And I apologize for the noise once again. But so I do a little bit of research, and when I do my research on the topics that I want to talk, I take my time and so on, because right now I'm outside enjoying this environment. One of the things that I want to talk about is motivation and inspiration. Two different things, that's for sure. It's interesting because I always tell people when I'm having a conversation, when people ask me, hey, how I'm doing good, and yourself, I often sometimes get people give me a little response. They will say something like, oh, I'm doing good, just taking it day by day. And for me, it's like I take it second by second. To me, second counts. To me, how can I say, you got to be aware of every second of your life. You got to be aware of what's around you and what's your surroundings and so on, because each second in life counts. And I was thinking about doing, like, how can I say, giving like a definition of what motivation and inspiration is. Two different things, and the way I could sum it up, and I see a couple of people trying to describe the same way, that motivational is external, that you use something. For example, I go to the gym, and for me the gym, exercising, it's motivation. That's what my motivation is. Inspiration is definitely within. So inspiration is within. It's something where, what inspires you, what's in you that inspires you. And it's one of those things that I hear and try, and like more than ever, I think, because of the internet. If you go to YouTube, you go to everywhere. More than ever, people are doing like what they call like motivational videos and so on, because hey, we need it. Motivation and inspiration these days. We definitely need it. We live in a different time. Different times, so much emotions going on. But what's interesting, I find about those things is that you can find all that. You could do the this. Listen, I was raised Christian, and when you're raised Christian, of course, the good Lord provides. You seek to God for answers or at least comfort. But I'm an observant, and not too long ago came across listening to a Shaolin monk. I'll definitely put the link into the description. Heng, D. I believe that's how you say his name. Not trying to butcher it, but there was a little life lesson there. That whenever you down and out and you're just feeling like giving up, just think of the word rain. RAIN. And each letter stands for something. That's R stands for recognize. Whenever there's an issue, whenever you start feeling like, hey, something's going on, I just don't know what it is. So you need to recognize how you feel, and you need to, when it comes to acknowledge. And a lot of times is that when something comes up that we can recognize an issue, we acknowledge it, but sometimes we trying to pinpoint what it is. But that's where the I comes in, to investigate. So we got R as in recognize, A as in acknowledge, I as investigate. And I is that thing that you ask those questions. Why I feel this way? What triggered me? What did I do recently that triggered me? Or even could be something that would trigger something. And I'm definitely going to go into a little personal little story here. And N will be non-identified. So basically, when you recognize and acknowledge and investigate, sometimes you're just not sure what it is. And we cannot identify, non-identify. We don't dwell in it. Just go to that next thing to make things happen. So it reminds me so much. I remember right now I'm in my going on 15 years of my workplace, and I love it. I love what I do. I love what I stand for. But it wasn't always like this, and it's interesting that in a couple of months I'm going to celebrate 15 years. Started in the summer of 2008. But I remember the fall of 2007. During the, for those who are living in United States, see a couple of people that are living international that listen to my podcast. You got autumn, four seasons in New York. So it gets a little bit chilly. It's the time of holiday, Thanksgiving. You got, prior to Thanksgiving, you got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. So once October comes in, and besides American football, as we would call, it's that time. It's just a different vibe, a different time of the year. It's harvest time is what I call it. And I remember in that, and I apologize if there's a little bit of hiccup because I tend to pause it if I see like there's a soccer ball that's going my way. I'm trying to stay away from that. So in 2000 it was my birthday, and I want to give a shout out to my sister. You're gonna hear me say the word brothers in arms and sisters in arms. What I mean by that, they're not related to me, but they are people that are close to me that I consider family. But at this one, I want to give a shout out to my sister for, how can I say, being there for me on that time. I was living with her. And in that time, it was my birthday in 2007. And I wake up. I was not working. I had no job. I was recovering from a car accident. I believe like a year or 2 years passed. So I was in a car accident that kind of changed me. And this car accident kind of traumatized me somewhat. Well, big time. But I remember 2007, like I said. It was my birthday. I had no job. I remember I had this 42-inch LCD TV. That wasn't working, so I had this little old school small TV, 13-inch, where I do my little gaming. I was just down and out. There's a thing, when you're down and out, then you're down and out. And basically, I was down and out. I didn't have that much money. I had some couple of monies from something that I was saving But I was just down and out for sure. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I remember that in that day for my birthday, I'm over here drinking what they call beers, 40 ounce, Old English. These are cheap beer for those people that are familiar in the hood and the ghettos. You got these 40 ounce big bottles of beer that you could get it for cheap. Nasty ass motherfuckers, that's for sure. But you know what? When you dining out, it's not even a budget on you, and you basically just on some shit like, yo, this is the money I got, and I bought a couple of 40s, was smoking a little bit, and I was just like, it was that night of my birthday. I remember how stressed, and I was like ready to give up. And when I say ready to give up, it's like fuck life. Not that I was thinking about anything crazy as, suicide or anything like that. It was just like one of those things that you start asking you start asking yourself, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I got so much talent. There's so much that I want to do, but what the hell am I doing? And I remember that night, I'm drinking these 40s, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna say this. I started like pumping my chest, like if I was in the Polynesian warriors there, like blah, 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 kind of like pounding that chest, like come on, God, like why am I in this situation? Come on, there's no way that I should be in this situation, and I was just pounding, like there's no way. Come on, God, there's no way. And that's what I was thinking that day, because I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I got no money like that to enjoy my birthday a little bit more. I got what they call these cheap beers, just drowning my sorrows. Boom. And I remember that night, I'm laying down in the bed, and I had little tears, and I said to myself, yo, a year from now, and I just was like trying to manifest shit. I was like, yo, a year from now, I'm not gonna be in that situation. I'm not gonna cry on my birthday. I'm gonna be able to be in a situation that I could buy 40. I could buy more than 40. I could buy, nice liquor, nice bottle, nice cognac, bourbon. Just be in a better situation. Enjoy a nice little food there. And I was like, yo, I promised to myself. And I was like, yo, I promised. And this was like the 4th, 2007. With nothing in sight. And then let's just say when I entered 2008, I was just like, yo, I gotta be a monster. But I was like nowhere. To make a long story short, I got the job in the summer 2008 where I'm at now. It's not even a job, it's a passion. I love what I do. And it's a lesson in life that sometimes, or many times, you don't need to go on these motivation. Well, I'll take it back. Let's just hope that you find motivation, inspiration in this podcast as we speak. But sometimes we don't need something external. We don't need to buy these Tony Robbins CDs or Volume 1 or whatever it is. We don't need that. Sometimes we don't need to do and find that external thing, because at the end, sometimes or many times, we can find inspiration within ourselves. You could be your own inspiration. Just gotta find that thing on what to do, because you gotta believe in yourself. That's the other thing too. Believing in yourself. I remember there was a great football player, played for the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate the Eagles. Look, I almost threw up just saying the Eagles. But Brian Dawkins, I respect this individual. On the pregame football, I remember there was a speech that he was giving to his teammates, and he was like, yo, can you feel it? Yo, can you feel it? What's about to happen in this field? Can you feel it on your goddamn chest? I'm like, shit. Like, hold on. And that's my thing when it comes to us. In a time where we need to unplug ourselves from this misinformation and the media. the most evil, corrupted, one of the most evil, corrupted entities that's out there. How is it that they make you hate someone or hate a politician or hate whatever, but yet you can't love yourself? And that's the shit that I always talk about. So you got to find it, because you got to believe in yourself. How the hell you believe in a system? And I love America, I love United States, but yet you believe in a political party, you believe in a candidate, you believe, but that's all good. That's all good. But you got to believe in yourself, and you got to wake up and find that inspiration. Because sometimes you look at yourself in the mirror and you wake up and, what can we do to make things happen? What can we do to make these changes, for me to get to that level? Because at one point, once you start telling your story the way I'm telling this story, that story is going to serve somebody. It's going to help somebody. And when people ask me how I'm doing, I tell them a story. Ask me how I'm doing, and I'll tell you a story. Because sometimes your story could be that thing that's going to motivate others. But you got to find it in you, and you starts with you. And that's what's going on with this podcast. This is what Deconstruction Topics podcast is all about. Trying to get the positive vibe. Trying to make things happen. And we got to focus. We got to help each other out. I'm over here on a tour, trying to help people. When people start talking to me about politics, which I love, and I see that people are corrupt, they're saying, this, hey, this political party, this and that. And once again, I have conversations hearing the same thing about the lesser of two evil. Nah, stop playing with that shit, man. Don't let yourself be corrupted. Talk to me. Let's talk. Let's figure shit out. Because together we can. And together we got to make things happen. And once you start feeling it, and just remember, if you're feeling down and out, just reach out. Just reach out. Think about rain. Recognize, acknowledge, investigate, and non-identification. Right now I'm walking this little baseball field. Remember when I was a young kid, I wanted to do so much. But you know what happened? You lose trust in yourself. You stop believing in yourself. You put so much energy on other things. There's other things that distract you. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things that we don't have control. But what you have control of is what you need to make great. Because there's a lot of shit that we're not gonna have control. Look, I was in that car accident. I was in the back seat. To make a long story short, I'm here. I thought I was gonna die. I had no control over that situation. But guess what? I'm here. I'm here to talk to you. And I'm here to teach you. And I'm here to help you. And I'm just here. There's a motorcycle passing by. God, ooh, Jesus Christ. My heart just dropped. That dude is running. And that bike, I don't know, but see what I'm talking about. I guess this is somewhat of irony that I'm doing this podcast next to a highway where my car accident happened. Well, not the highway that it happened, but, a highway nonetheless, people speeding up. And I'm like, whew, shit. What even to call that? The irony of this is beyond help. But let's make it happen. Much love out there. I could be talking, but, got a couple of stuff to do. But I appreciate you, the listener, like always, showing that support. And like I always say, together we can. Together, let's make things happen. I'm out. Peace.